Hey everybody, it's Ashley with this week's For the Fort Friday challenge. And if you don't know what For the Fort Friday is, well, I'm about to tell you. Because this week's challenge is a little different than normal. So I want to take a second and just remind us why we are for the fort, for families, and for you. And it's really pretty simple. So often the church, the universal church, is known by what it's against. We're against this social issue. We're against participating in this activity. We're against this thought process. And what non-believers, believers who have been hurt by the church, and our culture here is the church, Christians, and Jesus is against me. But what if we could change the narrative? What if instead of being known by what we're against, we're known by what we're for? The most popular Bible verse, John 3:16, starts by saying, "For God so loved the world." And as much as I love that verse, for years now, my favorite verse comes from Romans 8:31b. If God is for us, then who can be against us? So if we can all theologically agree for just a second that God created every person on this earth, then he must be for them. And if God is for them, then I certainly cannot be against them because God is for them. And you might be thinking, but there's truth we need to stand up for. There's facts we need to communicate. I hear you. I see you. But perception is reality. So what if, just for a second, we put aside our own opinion, our own theology and perspective, and saw every person for what they are? A person who God is for. Would it change how you interact with everyone? You know the saying about seeing the world through rose-colored glasses? Well, now I see the world through 4 colored glasses. I walk around our community and I think, what can I do for that person? How can I reflect God's love, grace, and hope to that person? How can each one of the ministries of this church be for others? Sometimes it's just a perspective shift for me, just putting someone before myself. And sometimes it's an outward action, like our For the Fort Fridays. Because these challenges aren't just marketing tactics to get people to our church. They aren't just cool t-shirts and car magnets. They're a way to create common ground with someone. And maybe that common ground leads to a connection. And maybe that connection leads to a conversation about Jesus. And maybe it never goes more than creating common ground. And I don't want you to miss this. That's okay. It's okay to be kind, be loving, be respectful, and to see value in someone and expect nothing in return. In fact, it's more than okay. It's what Jesus calls us to. We can't control what other people believe or their actions, but we can control ours. So it's important that we lead the way in creating a community that is for each other by being kind, loving, respectful, and by doing that, we start to change the perception of church, Christians, and Jesus. That's all just a really long way to tell you your challenge this week is to share the next video that will be posted on Facebook, in which I tell more about the For movement. And I talk to those who are unchurched, dechurched, and just really expand on why we are for them. Thanks for listening. Bye.